Improve your English with this short detective story. Listen carefully and try to solve the mystery. The curse before the final. Imagine running through a crowd of 300 shouting sports fans, only to find a real crime scene inside the locker room. That is exactly how our Friday afternoon started. Alex and I were rushing through the university stadium. Music was playing, and people were wearing the team colors. We came to support our football team, but when we opened the heavy door of the locker room, the music suddenly stopped. Coach was shouting at the top of his voice. The team captain, Dan, was staring at his locker, his face dark with anger. His famous, lucky red football boots were gone. And on the metal door, someone had written 3 words in giant letters: "You will lose." Alex walked closer to look at the lock, but I stopped him. As a web designer, I work with colors and materials every day. My eyes immediately caught something strange about the text. "Alex, look at the paint," I whispered, pointing at the letter O. "It's thick, bright crimson. And look at the bottom, a drop of paint is slowly moving down the metal. It's completely fresh and wet. The air smells like chemicals." "So the thief did this just 5 minutes ago," Alex nodded. Suddenly, Todd, another football player, pushed past us. He pointed his finger at a quiet guy who was holding a camera near the benches. It was Michael, an IT student. "Look at his sleeve." Todd shouted to the coach. "Michael did it. He has the same red paint on his jacket." Everyone turned to Michael. He looked at his gray jacket, saw the bright red spot on his sleeve, and panicked. He didn't say a word, he just turned around and ran out of the locker room. "Stop him!" Dan yelled. Alex and I reacted instantly. We ran out of the door, chasing Michael down the long corridor of the sports center. Michael turned a corner, but he tripped over a sports bag and dropped his camera. Alex caught his arm, while I picked up the camera. "Wait. Stop running, Michael," I gasped, catching my breath. "Why did you run?" Michael looked at his feet, his face turning red. "I just didn't want you to think it was me," Michael muttered, looking at his sleeve. "I didn't touch Dan's locker. I love this team." I held Michael's sleeve and smiled. My designer instinct was right again. "Look at this, Alex," I said, rubbing the red spot on Michael's gray jacket. "This paint is completely dry and hard. It's matte, not glossy like the fresh paint on the metal locker." "Exactly," Alex agreed, examining the cloth. "Michael, where did you get this?" 3 days ago in art class," Michael said quickly. "I was helping to paint the stage for the theater. I didn't write that message, I swear." "We believe you," Alex said, turning back toward the locker room. "But if the paint on your sleeve is old, why did Todd point it out so fast?" "He wanted us to see it. Let's go back." We walked back into the noisy locker room. Todd was already putting on his helmet, getting ready for the game. "Did you catch the thief?" Todd asked with a mean smile. "We found an innocent guy," I said, walking straight to Todd. "But I'm interested in your hands, Todd. Why are you wearing thick winter gloves inside a warm locker room?" Todd froze. "My hands are cold." "Is that a crime?" Alex stepped forward, pulled a small bottle of hand sanitizer from his pocket, and dropped it into Todd's sports bag. As Todd reached to grab his bag, his glove slid off. His fingers were completely white, dry, and the skin was peeling off in large pieces. That is a nasty chemical burn, Todd, Alex said loudly, so the whole team could hear. You tried to wash your hands with a very strong paint solvent, didn't you? I used too much sports chalk during training. Todd shouted, but his voice was shaking. Sports chalk doesn't destroy skin like that, I said, crossing my arms. You wanted to be the team captain, Todd. You stole Dan's lucky boots to ruin his mood. You saw Michael in the corridor earlier today, noticed the old red paint on his jacket, and decided to frame him. You intentionally rubbed your wet hands against his sleeve. But you made a stupid mistake, Alex added with a smile. A small spot of paint on a warm cloth jacket dries in 2 minutes. But a thick layer of paint on a cold metal locker stays wet for hours. Michael's spot was old and dry, but your locker was still melting. Todd looked at the coach, then at Dan. He knew he was caught. He walked to the corner, opened a large plastic bin for dirty towels, and pulled out Dan's lucky red boots. Here, Todd muttered, looking at the floor. Take them. Get out of my sight, Todd. You are off the team, the coach barked. Dan grabbed his boots, put them on, and let out a loud warrior cry. Let's go, team. An hour later, the game was over. The stadium was exploding with cheers because our team won. Alex and I were walking away from the field, heading toward the university gates. The evening sun was bright and warm. Alex smiled and looked at me. A mini investigation? He asked. Closed. I answered with a smile, and we walked home together. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and subscribe.